Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Carl Lamb with an update for you on the situation that we're just unfolding and kind of experiencing at this point, because it's the prep before the bigger impact of what's on the way for tonight. So this lake effect snow warning is in place for Ashtabula, Lake, Geauga, and Geauga counties. And it actually happened earlier this morning when Geauga County was upgraded from a winter weather advisory into this lake effect snow warning. So this does mean that we'll have some pretty sizable accumulations and winter weather advisories in place for Trumbull and Portage counties from 1 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday. So we're focusing on snow moving through, again, during the overnight hours. That's when you're going to get the bulk of the snow for these areas. But, you know, this National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast starts to tell the story. As we go through the afternoon, it is just scattered snow that we're dealing with, especially up towards the snow belts. If you're in Elyria, if you're in Mansfield, Worcester, you're probably looking at nothing. And just cloudy conditions, a little bit of sun peeking through. But as we go toward the evening, notice that this band starts to kind of take shape and gets itself organized. And it's really quite steady as we head toward 8 o'clock tonight. And this is when we're going to start to pick up some of those steadier snows. Now, through about 8 o'clock tonight, we are watching for, let's say, anywhere between 1 inch to 3 inches of snow in some spots. Again, Cleveland, Parma, over towards Hudson, completely dry from this. A few flakes, but that's not the big issue. Now, as we take you back to the hour-by-hour forecast, as we take you to tonight, this is the bigger story here. Look at this line. Those deeper blues are suggesting snowfall rates of 1 inch to 2 inches per hour. And when that's cooking, that is going to be dropping quite a bit of snow. We get a reinforcement as we go toward the 1 o'clock hour of early Tuesday, and atmospheric dynamics kind of in play here. There's a wave that's kind of pushing this further south. So you'll notice that this continues to shift southward. So we take you to 3 o'clock. Notice it's a very small southward jog, but that's all it takes for lake effect to kind of work its way through Ashtabula Lake and into northern Geauga counties, but it continues its trek further south, now impacting southern Ashtabula County, northern Trumbull County, most of Geauga, and into Geauga County. This is when the west side will start to get in on some of the snow as well. So we're talking about Lakewood, Rocky River, over towards areas even out towards Sandusky. This is when you would start to get in on some of the snow. We take you to 5, 6 o'clock. This is when it's blown through downtown, working its way through the rest of Geauga County into Stark County as well. And so that's when the snow continues to drop further south, and then with those northwesterly winds, yeah, it's going to put some of those streamers back into northeast Ohio. So we're not completely done once we get through the morning of snow. So Tuesday, still dealing with some snow showers. The snow belts could pick up a kind of like a little extra topping on top of what has already fallen, but still a bit unsettled through the day there. So we're watching for the potential of still some snow showers, especially up towards Ashtabula. But that is kind of the overarching view. But in terms of the snowfall at this point, what are we looking at in terms of totals? Well, if you're out towards the west side, it is not going to be much of an event for you. But if you're just on the west side of Geauga County, we're looking at 4 to 6 inches here. And the big problem here is, yeah, it's 4 to 6 inches, but the problem is it's windy. So it is going to blow that all around. And then the target really is for areas in this pink strip here, 10 to 15 inches possible. I'd say likely a foot is probably what you're going to expect in parts of Geauga County and just around Lake County there. But the snow belt's generally expecting 6 to 10 inches of snow. That's probably the safest kind of range that we have at this point. But again, those snowfall totals could really be ramped up just in terms of how intense it is, because it's quite difficult to actually forecast ahead of time how intense that band will be. Sometimes they can overperform if the setup is just right. So instead of 1 to 2 inches per hour, sometimes it could get up to 3 if it's strong enough, right? So we're keeping track of the winds as well. This is a big concern as we go through the afternoon. You'll notice that it definitely puts a chill in the air. It does not feel like the temperatures that we have for today, but it's very blustery. Those winds gusting anywhere between 25 to 35 miles per hour. And especially tonight here, this is the big concern as we go through the evening hours, that visibility is going to drop significantly. We're talking about areas at a half a mile or less. And as we take into Tuesday morning, big concerns. Look at that. Sustained winds. I mean, listen. Anytime there's snow, all it takes is a 10-mile-per-hour wind to blow it around and reduce visibility. When it's at 30, whoa, that is a very, very big impact in terms of what to have prepared for, through the afternoon. And, especially for our first snow of the season, it's hard to prepare for this because we haven't been dealing with these types of conditions very much. So I would definitely say that by Tuesday, we're still dealing with blowing and drifting snow. That is the big concern as those winds do not quit. So Tuesday's highs only in the upper 20s. It's going to feel like the teens for sure. It is just going to be super, super cold and definitely kind of a harbinger of what's to come in terms of winter, I would suppose. But also, if we're looking at those visibility numbers, notice that as we head toward tonight, the visibility is going to get worse. Notice that ideal visibility is around 12 miles. We're talking about reduced visibility in downtown tonight around 1.5 miles. And if you think the 1.5 miles looks like a lot, sometimes it does, but not when there's snow being blown around. And up towards Ashtabula and Geneva, very, very poor visibility at times. As that snow band kind of works its way through, this is blowing and drifting snow that certainly causes a concern. But we're watching for numbers that are going to be quite poor in some spots. And in Bainbridge and in some points during the morning commute, it could be near zero at times as this kind of works its way through. But we have some pretty steady snow on the way, and that is going to be a big factor in this entire system that we're dealing with. So your Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast shows lake effect snow for today, especially tonight. And then for tomorrow as well, will be lake effect. It will be windy as well. It won't feel like any of these temperatures that you have here because of the wind. It will feel, again, more like the teens, maybe the low 20s if we're lucky. We'll dry things out. We'll warm things up for Wednesday, get up to 40 degrees. It'll be nice to see the sun again, that's for sure. And as we head toward Thursday, we're going to warm things up. Friday, we get a shot of rain headed our way. It's another system that's going to pull on through. I have Saturday right now mostly cloudy. It should probably include a little bit of rain, but it just depends on when that system pulls out of Northeast Ohio. So we're going to watch that closely, and more rain returns for Sunday. Thanks for tuning in for your forecast on WKYC.com.